I understand that much of Derek Jeter's lore happens because of October. The Jeter flip, the Mr. November, the big hits, the big plays, the big moments, the 5 World Series championships, 2 more World Series appearances, the battles with the Red Sox, the Yankees being the epicenter of the baseball universe for the duration of his career. And that certainly helps put him in a rarefied place in our mind. And if that's what Manny Ramirez means, that Jeter exists on this next plane of popularity and celebrity and greatness because we saw him in the playoffs so much, and because wearing the pinstripes means so much, and because October greatness is what is ultimately noticed so much, okay. But let's not get this thing twisted, which is where I disagree 100%. Derek Jeter was a great baseball player. And if he played on the Kansas City Royals or another small market bad team, he still would have been one of the best hitters in baseball. It's not like he had a run of mediocre regular seasons and just turned it on to the playoffs. This was not Robert Horry, a guy just hanging on and coming up with a few big hits in the postseason. Derek Jeter played almost every game from 1996 through 2012 for the New York Yankees, very rarely not playing 150 games or more. Derek Jeter's longevity led him to 3,400 hits, nearly 35. That's not because he played in October. Here's the guys with more hits all time than Derek Jeter: Pete Rose, Ty Cobb, Hank Aaron, Stan Musial, Tris Speaker. That's the list. That's right. Derek Jeter has more hits than Honus Wagner, than Willie Mays, than Carl Yastrzemski, Cal Ripken Jr., George Brett, Tony Gwynn, Ricky Henderson, Roberto Clemente, Wade Boggs, Rod Carew. He's got more hits than all of those guys. Don't sit here and tell me Derek Jeter was just an average baseball player that had a couple of great moments in October. The guy hit .310 over the course of his career. Did he have protection in his lineup? Sure. But again, Derek Jeter hit .310 for his career. That's not because he played for the Yankees. It's because he was a really good baseball player, a great baseball player that played for a really long time. He was a 14-time All-Star. You want to say, well, part of that is because he played on great Yankee teams and was a celebrity and dated all of these starlets. Maybe, but also remember, the Royals had to have an All-Star each one of those 14 years. It's mandatory. Are you telling me Derek Jeter wouldn't have been the Royals All-Star all of those seasons? Who was he beating out? Mike Sweeney? So I think that's just such a silly take that Jeter's only Jeter because he's a Yankee. Was Jeter going to date Mariah Carey and Jessica Biel and, Vanessa Minnillo and every starlet tier A hottie on the Maxim cover from 1999 through 2010? No, not if he's in Kansas City. Certainly that Yankee thing helped him. But he's not one of the top 7 hitters of all time in terms of hits because he played in New York. He was a great player. Now, he navigated the tabloids better than anybody's ever done. And he had great October moments. But okay, Derek Jeter doesn't play in New York. He plays in Kansas City. He plays in Milwaukee. He plays in Cincinnati. And he's Paul Molitor. Paul Molitor had 3,300 hits over the course of his career, was a 7-time All-Star, had to wait to play in the postseason mostly until after his Brewers career, which is the bulk of his career, was a 4-time Silver Slugger. Derek Jeter was a 5-time Silver Slugger. Still a Hall of Famer. Still an obvious Hall of Famer, one of the most respected hitters ever. Okay, Derek Jeter's not Derek Jeter if he's not in New York. He's Craig Biggio with 3,100 hits and 7 All-Star appearances and 5 Silver Sluggers and a Hall of Fame plaque. Okay. I mean, let's not get this thing twisted. Jeter is still a Hall of Famer, even if he's not a New York Yankee.